What's up, everyone? So let's get this next note started. TSI Day 8, Part 2, Factoring Part 2. So more factoring. In this one, we're going to factor out greatest common factors and stuff, all right? It's a little different. So number 1, 5x minus 35. Okay? What we're trying to do is we're trying to see if we can factor out anything. What do I mean factor? Can I divide? Factor means to divide. Okay? So I have a 5 right here. I have 35. What's the greatest common multiple that I can take out? In other words, what can I divide them both by? The biggest number I can divide both numbers by. Well, I can divide 1 by 1 and 5. I can divide 35 by 1, 5, 7, and 35. Those are the what do you call them? The divisors of those numbers. So which one's the biggest? Well, it's 5. You can divide them both by 5. That's the greatest common divisor that I'm going to get out. So I'm going to divide 5 out. Right? So if I divide this by 5, when I say I'm going to divide by 5, I'm putting the 5 out here. This is a factor. Okay? If I divide by 5, that's 1, but it still leaves me with x. There's still the minus sign. And 35 divided by 5 is 7. That means that 5x minus 35 is equal to 5 onto x minus 7. And can you check your work? Yeah, all the time. 5 times x, that's 5x. 5 times 7, that's negative 35. It's like you're doing distribution backwards. Okay? Let's try another one here. Number 2. 3x squared plus 27. First, what number can I take out? Well, I can divide out, is what I mean to say. What number can you divide? I can divide both of these by what number? By 3. And if you take out 3, the 3 goes on the outside of the parentheses. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I still have x squared right there. I still have a plus sign. And then 27 divided by 3 is 9. Right? So you try this one. Let's do 10x minus 24. Try real quick before I work it out. So 10, 24. I can divide out, let me see, 1, no, 2, yes, 2, yes, 3, 4. I can divide a 5 out of here, not out of the 24. I can divide 6 out of 24, but not the 10. So the highest number that I can divide out is 2 between the both of them. 2 goes on the outside. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Don't forget the x. Minus sign. And 24 divided by 2 is 12. There you go. Now, are they always that simple? No. We're getting to the big boy questions now. They're not that hard yet. Let's try negative 10x squared plus 60x. Notice, in these other questions, there's only one x. There is no x over here. Number 2, there's only x here. There's no x over here. Number 3, there's only an x right here. There is no x over here. But if you notice number 4, we have x's here and here. So we'll fix that right now. Not fix, but we'll work it. We'll work at it. So first, 10 and 60. Well, negative 10 and 60. What number can I divide out from both of them? What's the biggest number, the biggest divisor that I can use to get out of both of these? So what was it? Oh yeah, so then what's the greatest common divisor we can get out of 10 and 60? Well, 10, because we can divide both of them by 10, right? Now, here's the problem. Well, for you know, I'll work on it later. Divide it by 10. Divide it by 10 real quick. That means 10 goes on the outside, remember? So, negative 10 divided by 10, that's negative. And then we don't forget about the x squared. Don't forget about the x squared. Then the plus sign. Now 60 divided by 10 is 6, and don't forget about the x. Now, real quick, this minus sign, we don't want a minus in front of the x, we want a positive. So, I'm going to divide out the negative sign. 0. So I'm going to take out this division sign. The minus sign, right? Now here's the problem with it. See, we don't get lost here. If I'm taking out the minus sign, I'm changing the sign to everything. So this minus x turns into a positive x squared. But this positive 6 turns into a negative 6x. And this 10 turns into a negative 10. Everything changed just so this could change signs. Okay? It's like multiplying everything by -1. That's what we did. Okay? Okay, so now back to where we were, original question. I have x squared and x. I have another common divisor I can take out. Right here, I have 2 x's. That's what this means. I have x times x minus 6 times x. Right? Well, I have an x right here and I have an x right there. I'm going to factor that x out. If I factor it out, it's going to go right along my 10. I had 2 x's here. I'm taking away 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Minus, I have 1x here, but I have 1 here. I'm taking it out. 1 minus 1 is 0. There are no more x's. There we go. And now we're done. Because if you do this, you're going to get negative 10x squared plus 60x, which is exactly what we had in the beginning. You see, told you it's going to get a little more difficult. What number was that? 4. So number 5. x squared y squared plus 32xy to the third power. First, the numbers 12 and 32. What's the greatest common divisor that I can take out between 12 and 32? You think about it for a little bit and you're going to get that. I can take out 4. I can divide by 4. So 4 goes on the outside. Now notice I left room right here. So first, 12 divided by 4, that's 3 plus, now I left room right here. 32 divided by 4 is 8, and I left room right here. I can't forget about the letters. Okay? Now eventually I hope you can do this in one big step, but I'm doing it baby steps for now. I have 2 x's. I have 1 x. I have 2 x's here and 1 x over there. So 2 x's over here, 1 x over here. You take out the smallest one. I can take out x to the 1. Okay? That's what you do. Take out the smallest one. I have 2, but I'm taking away 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Then the y's. Oh, first we do this over here. I have x1. I'm taking away 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, so that there's no x over here. X is gone. There's no x over here now. Now the y's. 2 y's and 3 y's. Take out the smallest one. That's 2. I had 2 y's here. I'm taking away 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So right here, we have no more y's. It's gone. Over here, I had 3 y's, but I'm going to take away the 2. So subtracted 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. I have 1 y left. So this is written 4xy squared onto 3x plus 8y. So remember that to take out the smallest of the letters, right? Take out the smallest ones. That's how it works. Number 6. Try this one real quick. Try it. Put me on pause and try it. Right. So I have 20, 15, and 30. What's the greatest common divisor? 5. I can divide 5 out of all of them. So that means that 5 goes on the outside. I left room here for the letter. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Leave a little bit of room for the letter. Minus sign. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Leave a little bit of room for the letter. Plus sign. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Leave some room for the letter. Okay? Now I have 4 y's, 3 y's, and 2 y's. Which one's the smallest? The 2 is, so take that out. You're factoring it out. I have 4, but I'm taking away 2. 4 minus 2 is 2, so it's y to the 2 here. I have 3 y's here. I'm taking away 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, so I have y1 there. I have 2 y's right here. I'm taking away the 2. That means it's 0 y, so I'm done. So to rewrite this, it would be 5y squared 4y squared minus 3y plus 6. Then our last example, number 7. Nine x to the 7, y to the 5, minus 3x2, y 6. 9 and 3. What's the greatest common divisor? 3. Divide them by 3. So 3 goes on the outside. I'm leaving a lot of room for the letters. 9 divided by 3, that's 3. Leave some room for the letters here. Leave some room for the letters. Then a minus sign. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I know I don't have to write the 1, but I'm going to put it there for right now. Now the x's. I have 7 x's here and 2 here. Which one's the smallest? The 2 is, so take out 2. If I have 7 2's here, but I'm taking away 2, 7 minus 2 is 5. I still have 5 more x's left there. If I have 2 x's here, and 2 here, well, 2 minus 2 is 0. I have no more x's over here. No more x's. They're gone. Next. I have 5 y's here and 6 y's there. Which one's the smallest? The y is. I mean the 5. Y to the 5. If I have 5 here and I'm taking away 5, but then 5 minus 5 is 0, that means there is no more y right here. There is no y here, it's gone. It's y0, so we don't write it. I have 6 y's here and 5 here. 6 minus 5 is 1, so I have y to the 1. So this should say 3x squared y to the 5th onto 3x to the 5th minus y. Because we don't have to write the 1 or the 1 there. And that's it for factoring out greatest common divisors. All right, later. 0.